Hi everyone, it's Dr. Ramani and welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissism, narcissistic relationships, and healing from narcissistic relationships. But here's a question for you. Can love bombing be good? So drop your answers in the comments. I'd be curious because someone asked me this the other day. Is there such a thing as good love bombing? They were pro love bombing, so it was an interesting discussion. So after that, maybe I was influenced then, but believe it or not, I actually think the answer to this could possibly be a kind of yes. I did have to sit with this question for a minute because I had to recognize, and this person was right, that love bombing in and of itself isn't a bad thing. Attention, gifts, fun, time spent together with someone, that part sounds nice. The over-idealization, not great because no one's perfect and you don't want to idealize anyone. There's going to be a realization they're not. That doesn't feel great, but maybe not even such a big deal. You know, obviously, as we get acquainted with anyone or anything new and we get a more realistic look at it, we recognize nothing's perfect. So sure, we might go to a new restaurant and say, ooh, this is the most delicious thing ever, and next time not so much. So what makes love bombing bad if there's actually a good part? Well, love bombing is bad if it becomes a distraction. For example, music is wonderful. I love music, unless it might be distracting you from something you have to get done, like work or studying. Sunlight is wonderful, unless it's shining right on your face and you can't see your screen or your desk or something you're doing. And secondly, if the love bombing provides fodder to justify the bad stuff that's happening in a relationship, not so good. Ultimately, good stuff is nice, but bad stuff can hurt you. And the good stuff is never enough to protect you from the bad stuff. What that means is that if you are enjoying the fun and the attention and the gifts and the experience, whatever is constituting your love bombing experience, but that is peppered with invalidation, rudeness, meanness, dismissiveness, gaslighting, lying, that good stuff is not enough to be a hedge against the bad stuff. And then the good stuff starts making all the justifications that you use about the bad things that are happening. So yeah, it was only one lie, and I know he was mean to me about my job, but he put so much effort into planning our nights out. Folks, this is a YouTube channel about narcissistic relationships. I am sure somewhere out there is a YouTube channel about happy relationships. And I'm sure people on the happy relationships channel had fabulous love bombing situations that turned into happy relationships. Obviously, in real life, every day can't be the excitement of a first date. But that early excitement can evolve into respect, kindness, compassion, equity, support, good stuff. So is the term love bomb only reserved for bad relationships? I think by implication, we mean it to be this overwhelming tidal wave of wow, and that we ride that wow wave into a crash and then ouch. But if we just slice out the love bomby piece and it happens without there being red flaggy, uncomfortable, invalidating behaviors, then hey, you just won the lottery and good for you. I'm happy for you. And my guess is you stumbled on this channel incorrectly because you're probably watching that happy relationship YouTube channel and aren't going to hang out here. Now, I was talking with my friend Matthew Hussey recently, and he had said there's a real danger in turning early dates in a relationship into a red flag surveillance mission. I had to sit with that for a minute, and I kind of agree with him. Because it's a balancing act early on of actually enjoying and being present with something new and fresh, and that might make you spontaneously smile during the day and might get you excited. That's a human and lovely experience. It really sucks when all of that goes upside down. But I know that there aren't really any true prizes for figuring out as early as possible where the red flags are, and the fact is most of us stick around for more red flags than are necessary, and sometimes we stick around for many years. We want to be so careful and we want to be so sure we read the situation correctly. But can we really pick them all up on a first, second, or even third date? Maybe when a new relationship's healthy, we don't call it love bombing, because by definition, love bombing feels like it's meant to be a manipulation. But what's interesting is that the narcissistic people aren't that deep. Narcissists aren't like Dr. Evil in a cave, rubbing hands together and saying, "Mwah, I'm going to trick her with a dozen roses, lull her into a hypnotic state with cocktails by the sea, and then I'm going to gaslight her." It's just not that intentional. Narcissistic people are charming and charismatic and novelty-seeking and grandiose, and they love the whole seductive scene in a new relationship. Then they get bored with your narcissistic supply, and a whole complicated thing happens with their own shame. And just when you are all in, that's when they start devaluing you. The hunt and the win are what are compelling for narcissistic people. That's their process of working through. But all of this is happening at an unconscious level for them. So it's less likely to be in your face, Dr. Evil manipulative. And now, are there cases when someone who is really on the make or exploitative sees someone they want to get something from, your money, car, access, sex? In those cases, yes, there are people like that, and they may love bomb in an attempt to get those things from you and then really leave you feeling wrecked. Now, love bombing is what we are told love stories are supposed to be. Since we were childhood, we were told this. And personally, I've experienced some mild love bombing in my life, but I've actually never been through the big fireworks love bombing. I think I was enough of a trauma-bonded head case just from the beginning to not even need the moonlight and roses to get tripped up. I just got tripped up. That's just me. But when love bombing happens, it's hard to turn away from its charms. Since there doesn't seem to be an agreed upon definition, as long as love bombing is just the zazazoo that happens at the beginning of a relationship that feels fairy tale-ish, a little larger than life, it's not always bad. If it's part of a bigger, manipulative, cruel process, it's bad. If it leads you to miss some of the problematic behavior or justify it, really bad. My hope is that many of you get good love bombing someday, the thoughtful gestures and genuine romance that can actually stick around for a lifetime. But this is a narcissism channel, so all I can say in the meantime is have fun and keep your eyes open. Thanks again.